Hi everybody, Cheaply Chic, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing another journal with me video. I have done a few of these and I'm hoping to do a couple more videos before I stop filming in this timeless journal because of the fact that I am not coming out with a May collection, and by this point I'm surely deep into getting ready for the June release, which I'm very excited about. I'm also hoping by the time I get done filming in this journal that I can get some other videos up on my channel as well. I have big hopes and dreams, but the whole reason I had to take off the month of May anyway was because of graduations and birthdays and things like that. So we'll see what happens. But today, what I am doing is filming another video in my timeless journal. So I am loving how this journal is coming along. For those of you who might have missed the first few journal with me's, I will link those in the description box down below. Let's see, the last video I created this spread, and then one of the other videos was this spread. So I'm very excited to play in this again today. Actually, as I get started here, I actually filmed the last couple of videos not feeling well. I was just feeling a little under the weather. So I'm excited to be feeling better today. I hope I can get a lot done. So this is one of the papers that came in my package of items that Yalady included in this month's collection. And this is a little glassine bag that I decorated. And hopefully by the time this video posts, this video has already posted. So I'm hoping, but I loved the way that the lace I used on this glassine bag really matches this piece of paper. So I want to use those together, and I think that's what I'm going to do today. The other thing I was thinking is that I would like to use it on this page as I flip through here and look at my page options. Or I could go back here. Now, I think I really want to do this page. I don't think I'm feeling this piece of ledger. So I'm just going to remove this from my book and save it and use it for something else. So all I have to do to remove it from my book is pull it out, obviously. I also know that I'm probably not going to use all of the pages in this journal. So I'm just going to save this ledger, and that will make a great tuck and something that I can journal on later. So now I have a blank slate here to do what I want to do. I'm thinking I definitely want that bag on this side because I like the lace. It doesn't really match the cover. I don't know that I'll have it poking out. We'll see what happens. And then I want this paper. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is, because this paper is just shy of touching the top and bottom of my book page, let me see, I would say it has about 1/4 of an inch from the top and bottom. I'm going to cut it horizontally as well, I think at about 3 1/4 inches, 3 3/4 of an inch wide. So I'm just going to do that first. 3 3/4. And then that gives me a little strip that I can use somewhere else, maybe on the other side of the paper. And let's see how I feel about this. I might want it a little shorter. No, I think that is perfect. That is so pretty. And then if I want, I can bring this piece over here. I also think I reached into my punches and pulled out this Fisker's punch. I haven't used this in a long time, mostly because I just really don't like Fisker's punches. I just never have good luck with them, personally. I think they're really pretty, but I don't know, I just struggle with them. So I'm going to use one of these edges. I'm trying to remember which one didn't work that well. I don't know. It's kind of a pain. You have to make sure you have it lined up perfectly. Yeah, so that's pretty. I like that, as long as I don't mess any of them up. One more. And then I have this strip, I think I'm going to ink these up. I'm just going to grab the vintage photo that I've been using throughout this journal. I just really like the way that it defines the edges. It helps those corners show up a little bit that I just punched. And it just helps bring everything together. I hope all of you are having an awesome day today. Whatever time of the day you're watching this video, I hope it's a great one. It is bright and early for me. Well, I shouldn't say bright and early. It is the morning hours. So it's nice and quiet around here. Okay, something I'm thinking of doing, I have this 2-inch scallop circle punch, and I was thinking about making a window. Like, what if I made a window and used this as a pocket and I could tuck some notebook paper back behind that? I'm also thinking I could go all out and use the die cut machine and cut a little window out of here. I think maybe I'll do that. Instead of, I thought I had a 3-inch circle punch, but I don't. The biggest one I have is 2 inches. So I think I'm going to use the die cut machine and cut a little window out of this page. Okay, so that one's a little bigger than I want. Maybe this smaller window, maybe up in here, or should I put it directly in the center? I think I like that. So I'm just going to place my die here, eyeball it a little bit, and hold it down with some washi tape. Hopefully I can get that in the right spot. And then I'm just going to take this over to my machine and I'll be right back. Okay, so let's see how this turned out. If I am careful, which I wasn't, I can still use this piece of paper somewhere else in the journal. I can add something on that little piece that I tore. But now I have this window here. I think that's fun. So I definitely want to ink the inside of that a little bit. I was also thinking maybe it would be fun, now that I've cut this window out, to add a layer of packaging behind there so it actually looks like a window and it's not just my paper sticking out later. So I am going to take the packaging that this kit came in, I still have it laying around, and I'm going to cut it to fit behind that window. I'm not going to be that particular about it. I'm just going to cut it out and make sure that it fits and tucks behind my window. That piece has a little sticky, so let's go down here. Trim this up a little better. Okay, so now that I have that cut, what I'm going to do, if I had my ATG gun loaded up and ready, I would use that because that adhesive is awesome, but I do not because I need to watch a video again and remember how to load that. Drives me crazy. But I'm just going to use Scotch tape because I'm afraid of any glue that I use not working. So for now, I'm just going to hold that in place. And I think just for the fact that things usually go wrong for me, I'm going to add a piece of washi right there. This is the worst tape dispenser ever. It doesn't cut my tape. I need to get a new one, or at least a regular roll of Scotch tape would be nice, but I don't have it. So I'm just going, let's see, that's close to the window showing up. That's okay. Just going to tape that down nice and solid. And then I'm going to do the other side. And I'm just going to, one at a time, take off my washi tape there. Try to get this window nice and flat. we go. I like that. Now I do want to make sure that I have this edge. I can see my paper getting hung up on that later when I'm going to use it as a pocket. So I want to make sure the whole edge is taped down. I think that's good. It was simple and fun. There. Okay, so now I have this little envelope looking pocket here, which I'm thrilled with. I think for the fun of it, I'm going to take this over to my sewing machine and do a little stitching on this. Okay, so I just took this over to my sewing machine and I messily stitched around the window here, and I added a little bit of a messy border, and I like that. I also did a little bit of messy stitching on that side strip I'm going to use. So now I'm just going to adhere my window down, and I'm just going to use my Fabri-Tac for this. I'm just going a little slow here because I want to make sure that I get my scalloped corners adhered down. And then I just want to center this on my page. I think I like it. It's not very centered, but that's okay. For those of you who might wonder, I would rather use a wet Fabri-Tac glue, not any wet glue, but the Fabri-Tac glue is very nice on the back of paper than my regular tape runner. I do like the ATG gun. It works very well, but some of those other tape runners, they only last for a certain amount of time. And I know because I've been scrapbooking for the last, 15 years now, and so many of those are coming up. So many of my scrapbook pages need me to go back and fix it, and that's just annoying. So I don't want that to happen. So far I've had really good luck with Fabri-Tac. I've had people ask me before, and it is acid free if you want to use it in long-term projects. It should hold up nicely. We'll see as time goes on, won't we? I like that so much. I think that's so pretty. All right, so I know I want this strip over here. I also know I'm going to add this baggie. I just have to decide if I want something behind that paper. Let's decide what we're putting in this window. I thought about my old notebook paper. There's an old piece of regular notebook paper that came in the collection, and that would be really pretty to have that soft yellowed paper behind that window. Usually I'll add some coffee stained paper. That could be fun, seeing that ledger paper poke out from behind there. I love this yellowed notebook paper. I'm going to have to cut it down though if I want to use it in this pocket. Decisions. I don't know that I want to cut it down. I might save this and just fold it up later on because I do still have this airmail envelope. I think for now I'm just going to use a piece of coffee dyed paper, and this one has some fun lines on it because it was laying on the rack in my oven. So I'm just going to cut this down for now and save the notebook paper. Now my glue is making this even a little bit smaller, so I'm going to cut my paper at about 6.5. Okay. And then, I don't know, you know, this piece here is torn. That's why this was in my scraps. And maybe, let's say 7.5 inches long. That might actually still be a little bit too long. No, I think it's good. So I'm just going to fold this in half. And then if I want it a little shorter, which I do, I can just trim off the edge here. And since I can't really cut in a straight line, I'm going to use my paper trimmer for that. And I just took a chunk off. Let's see. I like that. So if I don't want that burnt edge to show. Just tuck it in there like that. I like that a lot. And I could add a little tab to that paper if I wanted to. Paper clip with some trim on it. I'm just going to ink the edges of my paper. There. I like that a lot. So I know that I'm going to just glue this down. So I'm going to just go ahead and do that. I'm probably not going to add any paper piecing to the back of this page just because this is nice and solid. I'll just leave this page alone. I'm already getting glue glops all over my fingers. All right, and then I have this bag that I decorated, and I think I'm going to add it a little low on the page. That way I can add a tag and have that poking up. I do love the sound of the glassine bags after they've been coffee stained. I think it's so much fun. All of the crinkling. Okay. Oop. And then I'm just going to center it toward the bottom of my spread. So pretty, I love that. I definitely think I want some kind of, I don't have anything over there yet, but some kind of clip here. I'm not sure if I have any more. Ooh, I do. Rusted paper clips. I have Ya Ladies Beautiful paper clip charms. This heart and Made with Love. That would be really pretty. I actually think I'm going to add them to my rusted paper clip just because I am loving those rusty clips. And for those of you who might be interested in how I rusted these, I will leave a link to the video down below. I followed Sagita's method of what she did, and it worked great. So I will just link her video down below if it's something you're interested in trying. It's super easy. Rust is kind of a strong word. It does rust off the edge of the metal, whatever type of metal they use on these paper clips. It does give it a little bit of a rusty appearance, but mostly it's just ruining the, and I want to say enamel for lack of a better word, on the paper clips. So I'm just going to clip that on my little piece of paper there. I love that. So cute. And now I just need to figure out some type of tag. So I do have my manila tags, which I would have to trim down a little bit, but I think I want something a little longer. Okay, so I just grabbed a piece of cardstock and I'm going to make my own tag, which I've already done a little bit in this video. In this journal series, goodness. I'm going to make it 2.5 inches wide, and I'm going to bring it up to 7 1/4. So 2.5 by 7 1/4. Okay, so I did print off a couple more larger images from the digital pack that came with this collection. This one I printed off full size, so I can use that on the front of a tag, which I think I'm going to do. So I just have to have an idea of what image. I think I really want this text here on the back side of this tag. So just to give me an idea, I'm going to kink my paper a little bit so I know that I'm gluing my tag right about there. Okay, and then I'm just going to use my wet glue again. Try to line it up as straight as I can tell here from the back side of this paper. And then I'm just going to trim this up before I add my coffee dyed scrap to the back of this tag. Nice. I like that. It's not exactly straight, but that's fine. And then I can save this piece if I want to use that later. If there's one thing I have, it's a lot of scrap tea-dyed paper. So I'm just going to glue that down to the other side here. And that's going to give me a nice journaling spot. If you don't want to take the time to tea stain or coffee stain some paper, you could just ink the back side of this and give it an aged look. I did share a video toward the beginning of this series where I had used a spray bottle from Dollar Tree and dyed my glassine bags. If you want to check that out, if you're new to this whole tea staining and coffee staining thing, it can be pretty simple, especially if you don't want to do like a lot of paper. If you just use that Dollar Tree spray bottle, throw it in the oven for a minute or two. So I'll link that video down below if you want to check that out. It would work for anything. Okay, so again, I'm just going to trim this up. And let's see what this looks like so far. I love that. I love that old advertisement. All right, so I'm just grabbing my corner rounder here. I always have somebody ask about my corner rounder. I got this on Amazon. It's fabulous. I said that and then it didn't cut my paper. What is going on? Well, it's usually fabulous. The first one I owned, there. I think it was just the way that my paper was laying on the tag. I'll leave a link for that down below. I really like that punch. And I'm just going to ink the edges. And I am going to punch a hole so that I can add some fibers to the top of that. I love having the fibers poking out of the top of my book. I actually think I'm going to grab some scrap lace if I can get it to fit. This is just some of that lace from Dollar Tree. I think that would be really pretty on this spread. I love how feminine this is. Let's just see if I can fit it through this hole. I think so. As long as I don't tear my tag. Be a little gentle. Okay, and I do like adding the glue just to keep everything in place. So I'm just going to add a little dollop of glue here, if I can get it to come out of the bottle. Goodness. Okay. Okay, and I'm just going to trim this up a little bit. And that is it. I think that's it for this spread. I'm just going to leave this plain for now. I might come back in later when I'm using the journal and add some type of little cluster here, which I would show you guys. Okay, you guys, I think that's it. I think that is it for this layout. I hope that you guys enjoyed. Again, all of the links will be down below for previous videos where I'm working in this journal if you want to check those out. The link to my Etsy shop will be down below as well if you're interested in this month's collection, along with the videos where I share everything that's included. So be sure to check out those links down below if you're interested. Otherwise, you guys, I will see you in the next video, and I hope you have an awesome day. Bye.